This will be a short video, but just having come through Hurricane Milton and being without power for about 5 days and flooding and whatnot, and I'm still just starting to clean up. It got me thinking about prepping and what am I prepping for? Well, my prepping efforts served me well in this short-term emergency, but it was so demanding or such an ordeal for someone of my age and health. I got to thinking about all the videos you see on YouTube where they're preparing for the end of the world or whatever. I don't know. In such an event, I wouldn't likely survive it anyway. I'm not sure I'd want to. A younger person or family, somebody with a young family, that's a whole different story. So I can't speak to that. But at any rate, I'm going to taper back a little bit. I've already got about a 2-month supply of canned food. I've got fuel for my alcohol stove. And I've got my battery backup. And I'm getting a small generator solely for the purpose of recharging my battery backup. Beyond that, I don't see any point in going any further. I see a lot of people who are building up a stockpile of ammunition and stuff like that. And my guess would be that if that kind of violence broke out, unless you plan to be the aggressor, if you couldn't fend off an attacker with just a few rounds, the likelihood of you surviving will be slim to none. So I'm just saying it's probably a good idea to be realistic. For me, it sort of developed into a hobby. I particularly like canning food and eating food. I use pint-sized mason jars, and I put all the ingredients in there for a meal, and boil some rice and put the contents of the pint jar in the saucepan and heat it all up, and I got a meal, regardless of whether there's a hurricane or not. So anyway, just a thought that occurred to me in the wee hours of this morning. My air conditioning, because the bottom underneath, I'm in a manufactured home, so underneath we had about 2 feet of floodwater come through under the house. So my air conditioning is not working very at all in terms of cooling. And I got to call the service company on that and hope I can get something done reasonably quick. Because here in Central Florida, when you get near 90 degrees, and the humidity is 90 or above, it gets unpleasant rather quick. So we'll see how that works out. I'll report back on that later, those of you that have any interest in what it's like to go through a hurricane.